microphone around to you.
Yeah, Dylan, obviously you've been playing and starting for a little while now with the minutes going down, but I'm curious what it felt like to have a rotation of guys. It's probably something that's relatively new to you, even dating back your high school career. You're either on the field or you're not. What's it like to rotate an offensive line?
I thought it helped us a lot. I mean, I think, we do a really good job of just playing for each other and being able to do that, with guys like splitting time. I think that speaks a lot about, our line as a unit. We're really connected, and I think, that just speaks a lot about how that shows, the connectivity.
Yeah, to follow up on that, Kirby mentioned the unity he's seen from the offensive line group. Just how does that come into play when you've got 7 or 8 guys that are playing a lot of snaps instead of just 5 guys playing the whole game?
Yeah, it's a huge advantage, I think. It's an advantage because guys can stay fresh. Guys can play 20 really hard plays, and then the next guy 20 really hard plays, and then by the time you just keep rotating. I think it's just a really good advantage, just keeping guys fresh.
How do you feel like you guys played as an offensive line against Ole Miss?
I think it was, it was good. It was to our standard. 300 rushing is a good number, but we just got to keep it rolling. Put this game to bed today, and just try to keep going.
You're kind of on that line. Obviously, you had a road trip. It's hard to play on the road in the SEC. Last time I checked, they got a 14-game winning streak on their home field. What's your experience with Tennessee? Have you been up there before? And how do you feel about how you guys have played on the road this season?
I think, we've started slow in some games playing on the road, and they do start fast, their home stadium is a great stadium to, it's a great environment, and they do a good job of using that 12th man mentality. So, we just got to do what we do, practice how we practice, and just prepare,
Hey Dylan, wanted to ask you what's the first thing that comes to mind when thinking about this Tennessee pass rush and names like James Pierce, Tyler, and Omar?
Yeah, those guys, they got some great pass rushers, and like we do, we just got to keep preparing how we do on a day-to-day basis. Nothing, I think drastic is going to change on the way that we prepare. We just got to keep, being ready for anything.
Dylan, what do you think of where y'all's run game is right now? We've obviously seen Dejan have a bunch of big games. Kendall had a big game on Saturday. Just where do you feel like this run game is at this point in the year?
I think it's improved. I think that comes with just keeping guys healthy, getting guys back in the rotation. Has a lot to do with it. Just keeping guys healthy is a huge part of it. So I think that has a lot to do with why it's improved.
Kendall said Saturday night, because he went over 100, that he was going to get all the linemen buying dinner. I just wondered if he came through with that promise.
Not yet. Hopefully this week we're going to get a steak or something.
Dylan, when Todd Monken left for the NFL, what was your reaction? And then if you can share what you remember about Mike Bobo's first meeting with the offense, what was his message to you guys about taking over that position?
Really what I remember about Coach Monken is that he did such a great job of preparing us, like NFL players. He did treat us like NFL players, and I think as a young guy coming in, I didn't really know how that goes. And him just taking his time and his patience with all of us was a huge thing that he did. And Coach Bobo, same thing, really. He came in and really said he's got a point to prove. He's got a mission that he wants to do and that he wants to fulfill. And that was really his main message to us on that first team meeting.
Then I wanted to ask you about, senior day was this past Saturday. You saw a lot of guys that you played behind and I'm sure played next to, especially in Seb Van Fran, and as well as guys like Tate and Xavier getting honored and stuff like that. What was that moment for you like to be able to see them and just how was the experience of getting to play with those guys?
It was fun. Just being able to kind of look at them and see how they handle things and see how Sid and Tate and Truss, how they, handle things. One thing that I really took from it is nobody was sad. Everybody was ready to play. Everybody was in that mood to go play in a top 10 matchup. And I think that was the main part that I took from it was that everybody was up. Everybody wanted to play because of it. nobody was really sad about it.
Dylan, what has stood out to you about what Micah has been able to do in these past few games?
I mean, he's provided us with a ton of depth. I mean, I think both me and him have gained a lot of experience this season, and he does such a good job of just striking people. It's so much fun to watch Micah play and Micah pull. Like when we're running a counter and Micah's pulling, everybody knows it's about to be a collision. So just watching him play and like develop into the player that he's coming into, and just for me, he's like my brother. So we just lean on each other in the times that if I'm not playing good, I know Mike is going to play good. So.
Hey Dylan, obviously you earned a lot of PT from what you did in practice, but from the time you started getting playing time to now, where do you think you've grown the most with in-game reps?
I think just being comfortable out there on the field, knowing what's going on. Tate always would, get on to me if it's third down, and I'm getting in a 3-point stance. He's like, Dylan, get up, So little stuff like that is just something that I've tried to improve on in my game. Just being, 100% aware of everything that's happening. I think just playing and getting more experience has been helping me with that.
Just to kind of follow up with what you said just now, you were talking about playing with Tate and Cedric and all them. What is it like for you communication-wise on the line to be with those guys, people that have been there and done that, and do you think that's helped you with your communication along the line too?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, those guys have been, great leaders to me and all of, the guys that are younger to them. And playing with them is easy because, they've done such a great job of just displaying how they go about things, just on a week-to-week basis. And so trying to fit into that from, I guess you could say, from the outside coming in, as a new guy, they do a great job of just making you feel fit in, and showing you the ropes and showing you what to do and showing you what to say and, thinking about, not what just happened, but the next play. So.
Yeah, Dylan, Ole Miss was a football team that was top 10 in sacks and TFLs. I'm curious what you guys did to have so much success keeping Carson clean and not having any, negative plays, and to carry over that. What has Tennessee done to be included in that mix of one of the nation's best Indianapolis quarterback?
Are you saying, what are you asking me?
What y'all do to have success?
Mhm.
What is Tennessee doing right now to have success?
Yeah, I mean, we just prepared how we normally do. I mean, I think, Sid has done an amazing job, and so has Tate and Truss of just making sure that everybody's at film, watching film, after practice. And I think that plays a huge, to me, because that's something that I didn't do before, before coming to college. I didn't really watch film. I wasn't a huge film guy. And so now doing it on a day-to-day basis, I think has improved my knowledge of the game, the most, and being able to watch tendencies and stuff has helped us a lot. And Tennessee, we're about to go to Knoxville, and could be cold, could be raining. There's a lot of factors that play into this, but we just got to keep preparing like we normally do.
Any more questions for Dylan? One more?
Hey Dylan, real quick, I just saw that Truss had a pretty emotional moment after his last game, senior game last week. Wanted to ask if you had any stories with him. He's the oldest guy on the team. Just wanted to talk about your relationship with Truss.
Yeah, I mean, I when I was getting recruited here in 2019, I think I remember seeing Truss in walkthroughs and stuff. So just being able to kind of like grow into this role, with him having done it before, him have stepping up before in previous games and previous seasons, he's kind of a guy that you can turn to look on for advice, There was a couple times where I messed up in games, and he's just been there like at halftime, just been like, bro, you're good, like don't worry about it, it's fine. So he's definitely like somebody that I look up to for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, Dylan, thank you.
Thanks,
Dylan.
Dylan.
Thank you.